During the opening of his second golf course in Scotland, Donald Trump took the opportunity to make a big claim about his time as president. While cutting the ribbon and celebrating the new resort, he told the crowd that he had stopped 5 wars. This statement caught a lot of attention because it was said right in the middle of what was supposed to be a more relaxed event. Trump's new golf course in Scotland is a place he's proud of, and he often talks about it as a spot where people can come to enjoy life and have fun. But on this day, instead of just focusing on the golf, he switched gears and talked about something much bigger: global politics and his role in world events. The timing of the comment was interesting because it came during his visit to the UK, which was a bit chaotic and full of questions about foreign policy. People were wondering what Trump's real impact on the world stage has been, and his "I stopped 5 wars" remark gave them something to talk about. Some people were surprised by the claim because it's not very clear which wars he meant or how exactly he stopped them. Others saw it as Trump's way of reminding everyone of his role in international affairs, even though many critics argue that his presidency was marked by tension and conflict. Still, the statement shows how Trump likes to frame his legacy, as someone who brought peace and stability to the world, even if the facts behind the claim are debated. It set the stage for a lot of discussions, both serious and joking, about what he really achieved while in office. When Trump said he stopped 5 wars, a lot of people immediately wondered which wars he was talking about. He didn't explain much, so it left room for guessing and debate. Some think he meant the conflicts where the US had troops deployed, like in Syria, Afghanistan, or Iraq. During his presidency, Trump did push to reduce the number of American soldiers in these areas, and he often said he wanted to end endless wars. For example, he ordered the withdrawal of some troops from Afghanistan and Iraq, and he claimed that his administration helped bring peace talks to places like North Korea, even though the results were mixed. So from Trump's point of view, pulling troops out or starting negotiations counted as stopping wars. But critics weren't so sure. Many said that the conflicts weren't really over. In some places, violence continued even after US troops left. Others pointed out that new tensions arose during Trump's time, like increased conflict between the US and Iran or the escalation of the war in Yemen. So the idea that he actually stopped 5 wars seemed like an exaggeration to some. Still, Trump supporters often highlight his focus on reducing America's military involvement overseas and trying to shift the US away from large-scale wars. They see this as a real achievement, even if the wars didn't officially end. For them, the claim makes sense because Trump pushed for peace and tried to bring troops home. This mix of opinions shows how tricky it is to talk about war and peace in modern times. Wars can be complicated, and stopping them isn't always clear-cut. Trump's statement opened up a lot of conversations about what it really means to stop a war, and how we judge a leader's role in global conflicts. At the time Trump made his claim, he was visiting the UK, where his trip had already stirred up a lot of controversy. His visits to the UK often draw attention and sometimes protests, especially because many people there don't agree with his politics or his views on international issues. So the atmosphere around the golf course opening was anything but calm. During this UK visit, questions about Trump's foreign policy were on everyone's mind. Critics were quick to point out the ways his administration's approach to global conflicts differed from previous presidents. Some felt he was unpredictable or too focused on America's interests without enough regard for allies. Others thought his push to pull troops out of war zones was a positive step toward peace. Trump's statement about stopping wars came amid this mixed reception. It was a way for him to remind the public and the media of what he saw as one of his biggest accomplishments. However, many experts and journalists pushed back, saying that the reality was much more complicated and that some conflicts actually worsened during his time. The claim also tied into Trump's larger narrative about his presidency, that he was a deal-maker who could solve big problems. By linking his golf course opening with this bold statement, he showed that he wanted to be remembered not just as a businessman or politician, but as someone who shaped global events in a major way. Whether people agreed with him or not, the timing and setting of the comment made it a memorable moment, blending a personal celebration with a political message. It showed how Trump often mixes business and politics, using one to promote the other. Trump's claim about stopping 5 wars is a perfect example of how he shapes his own story. Whether or not the facts fully back it up, he uses confident statements like this to make sure people remember him as a leader who brought peace and made bold moves on the world stage. For his supporters, this message reinforces the idea that Trump put America first by trying to end long and costly conflicts abroad. They see his efforts to reduce troop numbers and negotiate with adversaries as signs of a president who wanted to avoid unnecessary wars. At the same time, many critics argue that his approach sometimes made global situations more unstable. They point to continued violence in war zones and rising tensions with countries like Iran as reasons to question how effective his policies really were. This moment also shows how Trump blends business and politics. By making such a big claim at a golf course opening, he linked his personal brand with his political legacy, something he's done throughout his career. It's a reminder that for Trump, every event is also a chance to tell his story and shape how people see him. In the end, whether you agree with Trump's statement or not, it's clear that moments like this keep him in the conversation and make people think about what his presidency really meant. And that's why the simple line about stopping 5 wars sparked so much debate and attention. It's about how we remember leaders and the stories they tell about themselves.